In Jamaica, you sell it hot, straight out of the oven.
Yeah.
There's a queue of people waiting.
Yeah.
So you go straight from the oven, straight into your hand, and it's so hot you have to take
Yeah.
your time. There's always kind of like, how do you eat a patty kind of jokes, you know?
Yeah.
And when we were over here, we realized that it's very hard to get it hot to the person's hand the same way in Jamaica, because you could have a restaurant or a cafe or a kiosk, and the rents are really high.
Good morning. Hi, everyone. How are we doing? Colin and Judy here from Pitch Black Magazine.
Good morning.
We are on issue 12. Issue 12. So, as always, we're here to celebrate, to cheer you on, and to challenge you to move your story forward and be your absolute best, particularly as a Black British entrepreneur and as a Black British professional. So, we've got another entrepreneur that we want to talk to today.
Yes, we do.
And he is certainly, his products and him, to be fair, is certainly a very popular in our household. We're talking about one of our favorite products, patties. Who doesn't like patties? So we want to introduce you to Edward Johnston from Port Royal Patties, who's one of the main patty manufacturers in the UK. So, hey, let's welcome Edward Johnston.
Edward.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you both?
We're good.
We're good.
You see us grinning. We're talking about patties. We're grinning.
One of your patties is in our freezer right now.
One?
One left of a box of 12, and we're probably going to be fighting over that patty.
It's been highly guarded.
Nice.
Been highly guarded. So
thank you guys. Thanks. It's nice to hear. Like,
we love it. We love
them.
And one of the things I'm noticing at the minute, Edward, is patties seem to be getting really popular, not just with the immigrant community from Jamaica, but also with the UK populace as a whole. So we just want to talk to you about your journey to now. Talk to us about how you launched, the story behind Port Royal Patties, and your plans for the future, which I gather includes something to do with the Olympics and sending tens of thousands of patties across there. So I can't wait to hear that story.
Okay. Right. Well, I want to ask, Edward, have you always aspired to be an entrepreneur, to have your own business? Or were you, as growing up, was it like, okay, I might go to school, study, be a doctor, a lawyer, those things that our parents normally want us to do? How did you become an entrepreneur?
Well, apparently, I said to my mum when I had lost my first tooth, is the tooth fairy coming, Mum? And she goes, yes. And I said, did she start her own business? Because I've always heard my father talking about business and starting a business and exporting and importing. And he is a successful businessman in Jamaica, and his father was a successful banana exporter, and my great grandfather started Jamaica Banana Producers, or was one of the founders.
Oh, fantastic!
So from my father's side of the family, we've always been in business and exporting, and primarily we would ripen bananas in the UK and sell them to the supermarkets. So I had a little inkling into how UK supermarkets operated and how big this could be. So yes, I've always thought that I would be in business in some form.
Hold on.
They were all medics, doctors. And so it was kind of like, should I go in the medical side or should I go in the business side? But I think I've always just assumed that I would be in business.
Yeah. So hold on one second. So Jamaica standard products?
Jamaica Banana Producers.
Okay. Are they the ones behind St. Mary's Banana Chips by any chance?
They are.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So it's not just patties.
It's not just patties.
On Colin's favorite list of what's in the cupboard and the fridge.
two of my favorite products.
Okay.
Oh, fantastic. So I'm guessing growing up, you grew up in Jamaica.
Jamaica.
Tell us about those early years.
I grew up in Jamaica. We went to Hillel. It's one of the nicer schools in Kingston. And then
Hillel Academy, I think it's called.
Hillel Academy.
Yeah.
And then when Michael Manley was very friendly with Castro, we left and went to Miami. A lot of people went to Canada or England, or we went to Miami.
Okay.
I went to junior high in Miami.
Okay.
We came back to Jamaica for my O levels. In time O levels, which was a real panic because in the States you don't have O levels.
Yeah.
So I went through O levels, started my A's, and then went back to Florida to do agricultural management at the University of Florida.
Okay.
My intention was to go back and run a farm and help export. Then I got into shipping. So I did a master's in Cardiff in maritime studies. And I started working with Jamaica banana producers here in Dartford. So we have big
I was going to ask, is that Cardiff, UK or Cardiff?
Cardiff, UK in Wales.
Okay.
So that's where I got my a master's degree.
Okay.
And then while I was working with Jamaica producers, they paid for me to do a MBA at City University.
Okay.
And the view was I'd be going up in the ranks with Jamaica producers. But I actually did a case study or a business plan for a patty factory as part of my coursework. And it got a really good grade. Got an A+ or something.
Okay.
Not that I always got A+, but that particular and I said, wow, this is a very valuable business plan. You got City University saying it was good.
Good.
It was quite a detailed plan. So we went and approached Tasty Patties, we approached Juicy Beef, and we approached Mothers in Jamaica.
And these are huge patty manufacturers in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And long story short, Mothers took us seriously and came on board. So I left Jamaica Producers in 99 and started working on the plan with Mothers' input. In 2000, we've got this huge warehouse and bought quite a substantial amount of equipment. Because unlike other patty producers, we didn't want to start doing it by hand and then evolve. We said we wanted to go straight to the supermarkets with a manufactured product as it would be.
Okay.
Because that's where we're going for, the supermarkets. We weren't just going for the restaurants because we knew that would be not going to pay back the investment.
Not viable.
So
you wanted to go in with scale from day one.
Correct.
Okay.
And it's quite scary because we could, we had no sales, but we had a lot of equipment to pay off. So I would be driving the van to the Jamaican restaurants, trying to convince them that one, I was Jamaican. I was like, oh, and two, that our patty was as it is in Jamaica, not just a UK patty. So I just tried to sell myself and sell the patty. And so we called it Port Royal. So most Jamaicans say, oh, Port Royal. Okay. So, everybody knows Port Royal. And we slowly gained the trust of the Jamaican restaurants.
Okay, good.
And we got in a few hospitals. And then I had a trial in Asda. Went to an IFE show, and as the lady saw how many people were coming to the stand and saw that people really liked the patties, and she kind of said, when you're certified, when the factory's certified, come and give me a call. So we got certified, we gave her a call.
Oh, sorry to interject. IFE show, I'm guessing that's International Food Exhibition.
Correct, sorry. So I recommend that as a good place for people to go to get attention, to get to be seen.
Okay.
It's a good show. The big food companies will go there to spot new talent.
Okay. I want to take you back a little bit and ask. You mentioned you didn't want the patties to be not authentic Jamaican patties. So my question to you is, what are some of the differences between the Jamaican authentic patties and the not so authentic ones?
Well, I mean, if you can make a patty by hand and you can make it really flaky, and but that limits you in production because
Yeah.
at some point you're going to have to go and get it automated.
Yeah.
If you there's a young man who just flake bake who just went on TV for all these next few things. So he's in that position now where he can make a very high quality patty, but by hand. So he's limited by the amount he can make.
Yeah.
Is he going to now transcend and go into proper manufacturing? Not proper, but bigger manufacturing. So we said we're going to bypass that and go straight to the machine. Bigger volume.
Okay.
And so the ones so Tasty and Mothers and Juicy Beef make it on the machine. So we want to try and be as close to that as possible.
That makes sense, actually, because Juicy Beef, they have a manufacturing facility in Clarendon, Jamaica, I think.
That's their main.
They pump out a whole heap of patties every day.
Yeah. I think it's like 100,000 a day or something more.
Wow.
Yeah, we're doing 27,000 a day.
Okay.
So
wow.
Yeah.
Listen, 27,000 patties a day is not to be scoffed at.
Yeah, away from home, so to speak, where you're building that markets. Yeah, but there's a market for it. It's making sure everybody knows where to get them.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think. Sorry, go ahead.
No, as you say, it's not just the Jamaicans buying it now. It's people who've been to Jamaica, the Caribbean. Carnival really helps put patties on the map.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're halal, so a lot of Muslim customers thank me. Like, wow, when I'm around town, I can't get much halal food to eat, and your patty is a very available product.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So the Muslim community are embracing us, and it's growing.
And that's a very sizable market in London, especially.
Yeah,
it is.
I do know when I used to work at a high school in London, and my Asian students would tell me, "Miss, can you make the jerk chicken and the patties and whatever?" So yeah, I know because the spice profile.
Yeah,
with the
Asian
communities, African Caribbean communities, we like our spices.
Exactly. And we do a nice vegan range, which the Hindus can eat, or the non meat eating.
Yeah. But I'm guessing though your most popular product would be the beef patties.
The beef is definitely, and the beef and cheese is
beef and cheese.
Beef and cheese is right behind, and I think it might overtake it soon because it's really it's on a projection.
Yeah, that's why when that box came back. Did you get beef and cheese?
Yeah. Oh, fantastic!
So nice.
Okay,
nice.
So here you are. You have done some schooling or high schooling in Jamaica. You've done your university in Florida. You've done some postgrad studies in Cardiff, and you've done your master's or your MBA rather in City University. So that gives you a fairly well-rounded international view of business, particularly manufacturing, which is your specialism. So how does patties, or how do patties rather, how do they work across the various geographical locations? Is it just in Jamaica and the UK, or are they popular in the States, in Wales?
I mean, they're very big in the States and Canada.
Okay.
And it's quite competitive over there. People always say, "Oh, do you want to go to America?" And I was like, "No."
Okay.
Grace Foods have bought into 2 patty manufacturers, or is it one? I can't remember. But they bought into a significant patty manufacturer over there, and Grace are doing big things with patties in the States. And
because I gather Juicy Beef has just started their American operation.
Juicy Beef has started it in a different way, I think. Juicy Beef are doing retail outlets.
Okay.
Grace are just wholesale frozen to supermarkets.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think they do retail. I think that's what they do. But I think Juicy Beef is doing kind of what they do in Jamaica, where they have a retail presence.
Yeah.
Sell through their retail presence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's the model that a lot of people are familiar with. If they're Jamaican heritage, you know, it's that kind of like going out, buying a patty in morning, lunchtime, you know. So the supermarket model that you have, it kind of like suits over here. And I think for our viewers, our listeners that haven't come across a patty, what would you relate it to in terms of produce over here that they would be used to?
Possibly a samosa.
Okay.
I mean, samosas came over from India, I imagine, or a lot of was it Kenya, or where did a lot of Indians in Africa come from? Was it Kenya or Zimbabwe? A lot of Indians over here came
Uganda, I think it is.
They came and established big businesses, and they came from India to Africa to here. So however the samosa is more or less known throughout the UK, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody would say, well, what is that? And it's so I think patties are coming to be as popular as samosas.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not like a Cornish pasty, I would say.
No.
That's a next thing you could compare. And the ethnicity of it, you know. The Cornish pasty is very English, and no disrespect to the Cornish pasties, I find it a bit bland for my palate.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Obviously, English people love them.
Yeah.
So I think a Cornish pasty went to Jamaica, and between the Chinese culture and the Cornish pasty eaters, they came up with a patty. Because I think the Jamaican Chinese were the ones.
Okay.
I think, or maybe maybe the Jamaican Chinese capitalized on it, and it came from.
It came from. Of course, the juicy beef is owned by a Jamaican Chinese, so they certainly perfected the manufacturing process.
Yeah, Tasty were the first ones, and I actually went to school with Vincent Chang's son Robert.
Okay.
So I've kind of known the family for a long time, and said, "Wow, look how great they're doing."
Yeah.
So I've had patties in my mind.
So
for a long
Edward,
time.
You talked about kind of like the restaurant model, more back home in Jamaica, and then the supermarket model that you're promoting and growing over here. Because when we were talking about relating it to a product that people will be used to over here, do you see it more like a fast food, or is it the restaurant side, or so like people go to McDonald's and say, yeah, I can get a burger, I can.
It's a compare a package to McDonald's.
I'm not comparing the product, the eating to it, but in terms of where.
I get your question. Like, how do you access it?
Easy.
You know, because we have two ways of selling it. In Jamaica, you sell it hot, straight out of the oven. There's a queue of people waiting.
Yeah.
So you go straight from the oven, straight into your hand, and it's so hot you have to take
your
time. There's always kind of like, how do you eat a patty kind of jokes, you know?
Yeah.
And when we were over here, we realized that it's very hard to get it hot to the person's hand the same way in Jamaica, because you could have a restaurant or a cafe or a kiosk, and the rents are really high. And are we going to do it that way? And we decided, no, we're going to try and not do it the way they're doing it in Jamaica, but try and adapt to how they're doing it in the UK. Because for a while we said, okay, we're not going to wrap them in a wrap and put them on a shelf. We said, no, we're going to stick to the genuine way. And after a while, I was like, listen, guys, that's not going to work. We need to wrap them and have them sold chilled. That's where the volume is going to be.
Okay.
Not just sending them to the restaurants to have the restaurants sell them hot. We do that also. Like we supply Wenzel's. Wenzel's is one of the biggest or the most growing kind of what's the word? They sell bread and pastries. It's like a Greg's. So Wenzel's sell our patties.
Okay.
Wenzel's.
Okay.
They sell our patties hot on the high street. And a lot of Jamaican Caribbean restaurants we supply will sell them hot. So that is happening. But by far the biggest volume is in the supermarket. Which is the UK model for shifting this type of product. we got into a restaurant in 2016, which was called Rudy's. So we were one of the founders of Rudy's.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my family, we got involved, and we said to ourselves, listen, patties alone won't pay the rent and stuff. We need to have jerk chicken, rum, and a bigger menu with higher purchase prices. So you're bringing in more money per customer.
Yeah.
We did a really good job where we opened and the food was excellent. The jerk chicken was really good. We got out of it because we weren't making money after a few years, and we just didn't see it turning around.
Okay.
So we exited.
Yeah.
But Rudy's kept on going for a while. I think it just went into liquidation, but it's changed its name now to something else. But it was a good experience, and it made me realize that running a restaurant is very hard.
It's hard work.
And
Absolutely.
it's a very different type of business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're actually doing a Deliveroo project here now at
Okay.
And we're doing very simple menu. We're doing jerk chicken, rice and peas, which we make fresh ourselves, and I love it. It's a very good jerk chicken.
Yeah.
We do oxtail with rice and peas, curry mutton, and we have a roti option. So it's a simple menu, but it's classics.
Yeah.
Roti too.
I remember when I came.
Everybody keeps saying simple, and I'm like,
it's it might be simple, but it's very, very tasty.
simply delicious.
I remember when I came to the factory in January, I think it was. You were just scoping that and getting the equipment in.
Yeah.
And there were some really, really nice smelling flavors coming out of the kitchen there.
Yeah.
So it's really great to hear that's gone live.
I try to fast in the mornings, and it's very hard sometimes. Don't eat till 12, you know.
Oh, dear.
So the Deliveroo is doing really well. We've been live now. This is our second month, and
Brilliant.
From what I hear from our earnings, it's a very good start, and it should take on. We're limited by the area that we can deliver to.
Right.
Okay, so
that's what I was going to ask.
Did you read my mind? I'm thinking, how far? Kind of like, excuse me, please. So
You know, to be fair, Norwich is not that far from Wembley, you know, Edward.
That's
Well, come on down then.
Not that far.
You know, so nice little electric powered bike. And
You like the way he turned that around.
come
on down then.
Did you hear me just carry on like nice little electric powered bike?
Fair enough.
Send an Uber. We'll load the Uber for you. If this model works and it looks like it is working, we will we'll do some other kitchens in other areas.
That's the next best thing in terms of, I was going to say, do you where you said you supply Wenzel's, is it?
Yes.
No. So when they're selling your product, is it being sold as Port Royal patties, or do you do kind of like their own labels for people?
We sell it to them unbaked and frozen.
And
it's called bake off, so they'll bake it off. Present it as a Jamaican patty. It doesn't say Port Royal, it just says Jamaican beef patty.
Okay.
And they,
which I think is the model for that them, and that also great. That's
what's the word for it again? It's a high street bakery chain. They sell bakery goods. So kind of like oh god, my brain. There's Gales. Gales is like the really high end one.
Okay.
Bread and sandwiches. Very posh one.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And then Greg's is the biggest one. Greg's are all around the country. Greg's seems to be more of a working class, cheaper type offering. So the quality of Greg's is not that good. I think Wenzel's is a little higher. And
Okay.
With a little better quality.
Okay.
So you need to keep us posted for when they reach this side.
Well, is the question then is the plan to put them in the supermarkets, or should I say back in? Because at one point you had the Port Royal jerk chicken and rice and peas and curry mutton in Morrison's, I think it was.
It was,
Was it?
And we absolutely loved that. For us, it was one of the best, most authentic Jamaican food products that was frozen and found in the supermarket.
Yeah. We're still in Asda. We're still supplying Asda with the curry mutton and the rice and peas, and it's selling really well. I really don't know why the jerk chicken didn't sell well, because I thought it was a very good product. You get 4 chicken thighs for £5, cooked and ready just to.
The value was ridiculously good.
Yeah, but you see, people compare ready meals. Ready meals are a very funny product in a supermarket. People compare it with a £2.50 spaghetti bolognese. Bigger, because you have big manufacturers in ready meals that just kind of squirt the ingredients and it just goes in. So the quality is a lot less. There's Bingham's, big Bingham's, that make a £7 or £8 ready meal in Waitrose. So that's the other scale. So he's managed to capture that high-end ready meal market. And we were kind of in the middle. And I think Caribbean people think, oh, I can make my own jerk chicken. But they can't make the curry mutton so easy. So I think that's why the curry mutton stayed in there, and the jerk chicken were like, because a lot of people say, listen, I just waited for it to go on discount and I'd buy it. And I was like, well, that's the reason it's not there anymore.
Makes sense. No. In terms of it,
we were buying it.
We literally our option was: do we go home, cook something, or we just go up to Asda and get the ready meal, which was so authentic. The rice and peas was well done. The curry mutton was authentic. The jerk chicken, the value in terms of value for money and the authenticity was really good.
And I think for me, you know, when you have those evenings where it's like you've been really busy, you know, you haven't done your food prep in advance,
most of our evenings.
So the convenience food kind of thing, when you're like, I really don't want to eat that. It's not going to be as healthy. It's more processed and all the rest of it. Whereas when we saw that Asda was doing that, where the one by us anyway, the time when it was there, we were like, this is brilliant, because it didn't feel like convenience food or, you know, or over processed and all of that. It was just like, okay, this is I can pretend I made it.
Well, guess what? I can say,
I've been working so hard, Colin, and you know, look here.
You hear that? I can pretend I made it.
I didn't though. I didn't.
Sorry, Edward.
Just got rid of that clause. Sorry. Well, guess what? We're going to start selling meals online, frozen, from our website. So we can post them anywhere in the UK. So you can buy
anywhere
in the UK.
Yeah.
So you can buy patties and meals.
Oh wow! Okay.
And the meals are going to be a bigger range than we did in the supermarkets.
Yeah.
They'll be frozen. And we're actually going to have 2 sizes, because, you know, we have the elderly population that can't eat huge amounts.
Yeah.
And so we're going to have, and we might discount it for senior citizens a bit.
Yeah.
So you can stack your freezer.
Yeah.
With jerk chicken and rice and peas. Take it out.
Oh, I like that.
And bang, you're gone. And it's going to be the same quality.
Yeah.
So that's going to happen in the next month or so, I think.
Okay, because that was read in my mind, that was my next question. When is this happening?
Let me just get this right. Discounts for senior citizens and people with grey beards.
Nice try, babe. Nice try.
Everybody starts graying up, you know.
Look at you guys.
No, but seriously, the idea came to me from a lady from Caribbean Social Forum. That was her on the phone actually right now.
Okay.
There are a lot of Caribbean elderly people who have problems doing their own cooking, and
absolutely.
So we feel like we should do something for them.
That actually works.
Give them a nice service.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
that's brilliant.
That's immediately solved one of your challenges, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you know? Yeah, Dad.
Yeah.
Dad, look up for the post. With recently down here, they've opened up one of those cook shops near to where we live, where the food is in there, and again, it feels better than
good quality.
I'm late home from work. I haven't got time to cook.
Yes, it's a very good product.
Yeah, so it's kind of like between the kind of like Deliveroo kind of.
Yeah.
When I say Deliveroo, I'm talking good meals.
Yeah.
From Deliveroo, not your burgers and nuggets. You know, so I can see where that elderly people or people who are just super busy
Yeah.
want that kind of quality product, and it's frozen. They can take it, put it in the oven.
Yeah. I also think in terms of where we are in terms of our approach to food, we're becoming a little bit more discerning.
Yeah.
In terms of good quality food. So we absolutely want the convenience, but
we don't want the ultra processed.
The golden arches don't quite do it for us anymore.
Although I had a McDonald's breakfast on the way, and I have to say this morning, which
I think
guilty as charged.
My version would be the golden arches. Do it for me. I just know that I shouldn't, because it's in the long run.
Yeah.
The ultra processed.
It's not something you want to be doing quite regularly.
No.
Yeah.
So that's really good.
I didn't want to be worried about being hungry.
Yeah. I hear that.
So yeah, so that's where I'm excited by that. So it's postal service. I'm not sure how profitable it is. It should be profitable, but it's our first time getting into mail order.
Yeah.
And so we'd have to make it slick, professional. Okay. And we're gonna have the packaging nice. When you open it, it's like, oh, we're gonna feel like it's a little present you've got.
Yeah.
So it's basically a new business we're trying to.
Yeah. I like it.
Save time and fill your belly. You must feel good when you open that.
Yeah.
So that's a fair bit in terms of manufacturing that you're doing. You're doing the patties, 27,000 patties a day. That would keep most people busy. But you're doing the delivery, the food order stuff, and now you're looking at doing. Will it be frozen mail order by any chance? Frozen mail order.
The patties won't be frozen, but we could do the patties frozen. But I think the patties will be chilled.
Okay.
The meals definitely will be frozen.
Yeah.
Okay. So on day one, I order. What's the
day three? I think day 3 they should get it.
Okay.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're actually going to make it. We're going to make order days. So it's like maybe 2 days a week. So we make sure we make really fresh patties and really fresh meals.
Yeah.
So we don't have orders coming in every day. We just have them coming in on certain days.
Yeah.
So we know fresh product.
Brilliant.
And
brilliant.
Keep the standards up that way.
Yeah.
And that, I guess, is a good way of managing the capacity.
And just managing. Yeah, you don't have people sitting around waiting for these orders. We have a nice busy day preparing them.
Yeah.
And then packaging them, and then boom.
I like it.
I like it a lot.
Okay. So this issue of the magazine, Edward, is the food and drinks issue. And it looks like you started in 1991, did you say?
No, 2000 is when we actually opened the factory.
Oh, beg your pardon, 2000.
I moved to the UK in 92.
Okay.
To live. Maybe that's where I got that date from.
Okay. So you started in 2000.
Yeah.
So you're almost 25 years in.
Yes.
Which belies your youthful look. Not a grey hair in sight.
No, they're here. They're coming. I believe they're coming.
Okay.
You just embrace them.
So, what would you say to people who are looking at being where you are in terms of, a preeminent patty producer, food service manufacturer? What are some of the main challenges that you found along the way over those last 24 years that they may need to look out for?
Pick your product and pick your specialty and stick to it.
Yeah.
I would say don't try and spread yourself too wide and far.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to know who the gatekeepers are in your industry.
Okay.
Like, for instance, like supermarkets are definitely an example of a gatekeeper.
Right.
Where the gate's there and you have to try and get past it into the store.
Of course.
And you have like food service, so Compass, Sodexo, these are other types of gatekeepers where you have to kind of get in, and they're very hard, these gates, to open sometimes.
Wow.
If you persevere and you do your research, then you can do it, but it's hard. It's not easy. Like especially in food, you need to have. I don't know if you can see my certificate here.
Yeah.
This is a salsa certificate. Which allows you to sell to the supermarkets. So
I'm guessing that's not the dance salsa.
No, it's not. It's spelled the same.
Or the tomato sauce.
Or the tomato
that way.
Who are salsa?
They are a certifying body for food supply. So HACCP, hazardous analysis critical control points, is a part of a system. Wow. NASA created HACCP so that the astronauts wouldn't poison themselves when they're preparing their own food. And then the food industry has taken these principles. So it's kind of like an ISO 9000, but people use in business, but it's for food.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a particular system where you're monitoring your temperatures and monitoring all the things that could go wrong in your food preparation.
Okay.
So if I'm talking food specifically, and somebody wants to get into that, they need to learn about HACCP and salsa and getting their premises and their staff up to speed. Because anybody they're going to supply is going to want to see that they know what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a hurdle they have to get over.
Yeah.
So is it a different level of certification if you were taking your product and you were selling direct to people? Is that different to selling to the supermarkets?
It is, yeah. So if you're selling directly in a restaurant, then I think your local council can come and audit you. And you get a stars in the doors. You have a 5-star rating or a 4-star rating.
Yeah.
Okay. The food standards department in the local authority.
Right. Yeah. And that's easier to get. But again, your kitchen has to be really clean and no rodents and you have to have a good.
That would help.
It's a necessary thing. Good hygiene to get. But so that's just if you're selling direct to the public and
from a fixed location.
So if something went wrong with our patties, God forbid, and we had to find out where it went, we can go back and see all the ingredients in our patties. So it's called traceability. We can go back and trace it all the way back.
Wow.
Every ingredient. And that's what the supermarkets want to see that you can do.
Okay.
You're not poisoning people. Because you can imagine if you go into Asda and there's thousands of patties, there's 1,000 of potential problems.
Yeah.
If you're just wandering a restaurant and you're selling to 50 customers a night, that's 50 problems.
Yeah.
So it's a scale, different scale.
Okay. Now, I guess it also helps if they've got, setting up a manufacturing capacity that's doing 27,000 patties a day requires a lot of equipment. And if there's anything I know about food manufacturing equipment, they're not cheap. So they need some deep pockets or some generous investors in terms of getting to that scale. But I'm guessing you haven't always been at the 27,000 patties per day capacity.
No, I mean, even when we bought the machinery, we had to learn how to use it.
Okay.
We had to learn what our limitations were and then push them. I remember we had some advisors that were saying, we could only do 1,000 patties a day based on the hours we were working, and we just didn't listen to them after a while and just found a different way to do it. Pushed and pushed and pushed.
Yeah. They've never met Jamaicans, have they?
No, we call ourselves Jamaicans. We're not Jamaicans.
Jamaicans, that's it. That's it.
Walk around the factory and said, "Are we Jamaicans?" Yes, we are. Let's do it.
Love it.
No, my team are good, and after a while, if the team see what you're doing and they kind of say, what about this way? We can do more.
Yeah.
So you work together.
Yeah.
And you buy equipment and you test it out, and that one didn't work, so you back to the drawing board, try another way. So we learned how to get to the 27,000 a day, and we can actually do more. But that's kind of like we're only doing one shift, so we can do double that if we have to. So as I said, we're going to France now for the first time.
Yes.
Yeah, tell us about that.
So we supply a company called Takul with a halal pasty. It's not a patty, but it looks in the same shape and has a similar pastry, but it has English ingredients. So it'd have like you have like a chicken slice filling, like a creamy chicken.
Okay. Yeah.
That chick, we put that in one. We do a Mexican variety filling, and we do a steak slice filling. So we supply them with 3 products, and they're selling very well in the supermarkets. So
in France,
in Jamaica, in the UK.
In the UK. Okay, beg your pardon.
So they were a UK company, halal, and they started from nothing. It's kind of a father and son did it successfully. So this French company bought them. So the new French company came to our factory and looked around and just to see who their new supplier was.
Absolutely, yeah.
They liked what they saw, and I gave them patties to go away with. Gave them a day to digest them, and said, "Listen, why don't we export these to France? The Olympics are coming up. Bob Marley movies just hit the ground going. A lot of the young guys in Paris are Muslim, and they love Jamaican, all things Jamaican is what I've heard.
Yeah.
So this French company called Isla Delice, they actually own 40% of the market share in France.
Wow.
They're one of the biggest suppliers of halal in France and Belgium and other places I've heard.
Yeah.
So they came back immediately and said, yes, we want to try this. This looks like a very good idea. And we just started developing how they wanted it. And so we're doing a really nice, attractive box. Let me see if I can find the box for you.
Tempting to go to the Olympics this year.
Listen, people have been reading my mind today. I'm thinking, so what flights are the patties going on?
Yeah.
And what flight can we get on behind them, or should we be there before them? Or?
Nice.
Example of the box. We've kind of made it a bit different. You can see
that. I like it.
And how many?
What's the capacity of that?
Yeah.
This has 4 patties on it.
Okay.
In it, and so we have French, English, Dutch, and Spanish instructions. And we're going into France with it, but then it can go throughout the whole of Europe.
Absolutely.
Okay.
One pallet is actually going to Holland because we have an importer over there already who's been dying to get a pallet. But because we have 6 pallets ordered from Isla Delice, I can now fill the trailer, like the refrigerated truck. With another 6. So we have 12 pallets going, which is a 25,000 patties.
Wow.
And they're going to Isla Delice, but they're also going to a lady in Paris who is well connected there, and she's been begging for patties for years.
Yeah.
We're supplying her, and she's my new distributor also.
Yeah.
So we're going to be in Jamaica House in Olympics. I've heard Puma have a house, so we're going to be in Puma House.
Yep.
And a lot of the
who I believe are the sponsors for the Jamaican Olympic team.
There you go. So I think the Jamaica Tourist Board are going to be in Puma House.
Yeah.
So all the VIPs will be munching on our little mini patties.
Yeah.
So we're very excited. I'm going to have to fly over there and see what's going on,
It's a hard job. It's a hard job, isn't it, Edward?
You just have to.
My heart bleeds for you.
My heart is like, what's the next flight?
That's fantastic. Wow. So
exciting.
This has the potential then to take Port Royal from, certainly in terms of the patties, from a local UK domestic patty manufacturer stroke producer to literally an international
European
patty manufacturer
European
in one fell swoop.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I know. I'm very excited.
You should be. I'm excited for you. The fact that we can now go to places like Paris and Belgium and Holland and get a patty.
Yeah. What's very surprising is that the prices they pay over there are a lot higher. I'm talking to my distributors, and they're planning to sell them at prices that I was like, what? You're going to sell it at that price?
Okay.
Like, people. It's a different market over there. I didn't realize that. We're very lucky in the UK.
Yeah.
Supermarket food prices are very low compared to what they pay over there.
Yeah. Actually, we have heard that, haven't we? When we went to Barcelona that time, the food was quite cheap.
Expensive. Cheap?
Yeah. And it was,
I thought
there was a Jamaican restaurant or Jamaican-esque.
I thought the food was more expensive. The alcohol was a lot cheaper.
I thought the food
was
cheaper.
Easier for somebody to be slim and drunk. Is what I thought.
No, the food is more expensive in general in supermarkets. I think if you go to Greece and you go on a holiday and you go to a restaurant, then it's cheaper.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I went to Barcelona recently and I thought it was a bit more expensive than the UK.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. But there you go.
Brexit really has hurt the small exporters.
Yeah. I was going to ask that. How does Brexit help, or well, I guess hinder that operation of getting
until I could get to the volume and have my own trailer, then or at least a pallet. Before I would send a few boxes, or people would come and buy and take them over, and that just stopped all the small shipments.
Right.
Yeah.
So the smaller people who can't send a big volume like 12 pallets, it doesn't make sense because you have to get a vet. All the cost to get that done only work or only makes sense when you're sending a big volume.
Wow.
Okay. So I guess Brexit has added lots of complexities, and complexities equals cost.
Exactly. And if you're doing enough volume, then you can kind of say, okay, it's worth doing, and let's pay those costs and just have the headache of filling out the forms because it's worth it. If you're sending a small volume, then you're like, no, you don't want to do it. It's just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So that was interesting to me.
Okay.
It's a shame, huh?
But it just sounds like a tremendous opportunity. Supplying Europe with patties.
Yeah.
Can you see it going even Eastern Europe?
Why not? I don't see why not. I'm sticking to Europe right now because they have a better disposable income.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But we could go further afield. Definitely.
That's fantastic.
And just the patties, or with the meals as well, the jerk chicken.
Right now the patties, but we could definitely go to the meals in a frozen form. Definitely.
I guess once you've kind of sorted out the supply chain, it's just about what products you put through that supply chain, because you've got the manufacturing capacity. It's just having the distributors there and the demand.
If I'm really thinking big, I'd build or rent a warehouse over that, just in case. Send all the stuff there, and then have that as a hub. To supplying.
Yeah. I can see your head whirring. That's brilliant. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Which brings me to the next question. Tell us about the future of Port Royal Patties. What 10 years down the line? What paint us a picture?
Well, we would be in Europe, which is the most immediate future.
Okay, good.
I'd like us to be the go-to place for good Jamaican food, which we're starting to be.
Good.
Especially if the postal service takes off well. I can see a postal service working in Europe. So as I said, if we get the hub in France or in like Holland, whatever is the most cost-efficient hub location, we'd get a hub there, and we could start a postal service from there and supply wholesale to other distributors. Just keep on doing what we're doing, which is very good Jamaican patties, and extending now to food. Keeping it real for all those lovers of Jamaican food.
Absolutely. And I met somebody recently, and they heard that I was Jamaican, and the first thing they were like was, "Oh, my husband and I are going to Ocherias," and they said they've been every year, and because she'd been there every year, she started asking, "Where can I get Jamaican food?" So I'll say to her she can go to Port Royal and hope she doesn't think it means Port Royal, the place in Jamaica. But
yeah, go to the website and just click deliver.
Yeah,
you get your food.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Really good. And that's next,
like it.
And that's next month.
Yeah.
Make it 2 months. Make it
2 months.
2 months.
Yeah. Steady on.
Okay.
We want to do it right. I mean, we could mail patties. We can mail patties right now, and I do that right now. But it's not slick on the website where you put in your address. It just does it by itself.
Okay.
Fantastic. If you need, local ambassadors in various places,
you can give us a shout. You come on board and test it for me first when you first go up, and we'll give you your first delivery free for being a tester.
Oh,
I can work that. I can work with that.
Norwich
ambassador. You give me honest feedback. How did it arrive?
Yeah.
Temperatures, etc.
Yeah.
Okay. Love it.
How long did it last?
2 seconds. Edward, it's been really, really enlightening and fun, actually, talking to you about, the journey of Port Royal Patties, your personal journey from Jamaica to Miami to Cardiff and now to London, and to hear about your family history and the impact they've had on the food sector, not just in Jamaica, but the food sector here in terms of Jamaican foods or products. So very well done.
Thank you is what we need to say as well.
Thank you. There is a supermarket that I go, Sainsbury's. I go to Sainsbury's and there is the World Food Aisle. And there is a product that I always pick up, which is the St. Mary's banana chips.
Okay.
It's my indulgence.
Yeah.
And recently, I think I bought a pack of 12 or something from a wholesaler down in London. So I want to do exactly the same thing with the patties and the ready meals and
we're not whatever else. Go to Tesco as the Morrisons and you get the patties.
Yeah.
Sainsbury's, we were in there for a while, but fell out over price.
Okay.
But St. Mary's is a very good product, and I'm glad it's
definitely. Definitely. But before you go, we have got to do our quick fire dozen.
Yeah.
And the quick fire dozen is, don't think too much about it. Just say it as it comes. I think we know some of the answers, but we don't want to presume.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see. So the first question is, what's the first question? Jollof
or rice and peas?
Rice and peas.
Yeah.
Rice and peas.
I mean, I've had a good jollof every now and then, but you can have not so good jolloфs.
Yeah.
But no, I much prefer rice and peas as 100%.
Yeah. Okay. And it has to be Port Royal rice and peas, of course.
I think we're doing the best right now. Yes.
From the Port Royal kitchen.
Yeah, definitely.
Delivered to Norwich.
Sorry. Second to Judy, of course. Yeah, you do the best rice and peas.
That's why
Good save. Good save.
Right. Okay. And then with your rice and peas, would you have a side of plantain
or plantain?
Plantain.
Yeah. Right. Okay. And would you eat that beside on holiday beside a beach or
city break?
Beach. I'm a beach man.
Very nice.
I don't know many Jamaicans who don't love the beach.
I'll be all day on the beach.
Absolutely. Okay.
Right. And then, okay. So in terms of finances now, cash flow or
capital appreciation?
Well, there are times when you need the cash. I'm a capital appreciation man when I can afford it. And capital appreciation is my preferred choice.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay, then Netflix
or YouTube.
Netflix.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then reggae
or Afrobeats. I think we know the answer to this.
Reggae.
Yeah,
with a patty. Right. Listening to music or
Listening to a podcast.
Music.
Yeah. Okay.
and then dark chocolate or
Milk chocolate.
These days, dark chocolate.
Okay.
Dark chocolate.
okay. Right. Stocks and shares.
Or crypto.
Stocks and shares.
Yeah. Said like a true businessman.
Samsung.
Or Apple.
Apple 100%.
Okay.
I have everything Apple.
Really? Wow. Okay. Okay.
And then night in.
Or night out.
Again, in my 20s, it was night out every night, but now it's night in every night.
I hear you. I hear you.
Okay.
Every night. Once a month, I'll go out.
Yeah.
And then the last one, oxtail or
Curry goat.
I think goat is a healthier meat. It's
Okay.
Goat, I hear, is one of the most popular meats in the world. And
Really?
it's really a superfood because it's very lean in fat.
Okay.
And for that reason, I'd say curry goat, because if you're going to eat it day in, day out,
Yeah.
but it's a very hard choice to make.
Yeah.
But I would go with curry goat for the reasons I just said.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for the reason that that's one of Port Royal's most popular products.
Popular product also, yes.
So yeah.
Okay.
Nice one. Edward.
For the oxtail, I've heard it's a nice way to get collagen without having to kind of like inject it.
I love oxtail, but the thing is, if I'm having oxtail, I usually have it at night because I know I'm just going to fall asleep after. You know.
Yes, it's heavy. It's heavy.
Yeah.
It's heavy.
You just want to put it in a nice way. It's such a relaxing. Oh, let me just watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that.
I feel like we should have added one more to that and had maybe like beef and cheese patty or jerk patty.
I was thinking, to be honest, we should ask Edward jerk chicken or curry goat.
Jerk chicken.
Yeah, I figured you were going to say that.
Again, because it's slightly healthier than the goat.
Yeah.
And I've been eating a lot of jerk chicken. If I was eating it every day, it would be jerk chicken.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice one. Edward, it's been a pleasure talking to you, man. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm hungry now.
It's like lunchtime now.
We're going to have to go to the supermarket to get some patties now.
So Morrison, Asda,
Tesco. Yeah. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. We are excited about the future of Port Royal.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear how those 25,000 patties have kind of gone and, how it all panned out. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be gone and gone.
Is how quickly they reorder. That's the watching it like this, like waiting, like when's that email coming in for the next order? That'll set the tone.
That's the test.
We'll do a year,
And then 2 months, I'm looking forward to my online ordering in 2 months.
Yeah. I'll give you guys an email with a personal invite to come and check it out.
Please. Fantastic. Listen, be assured of one thing, Edward. We'll certainly be celebrating you, cheering you on,
indeed,
and challenging you to go even further. We're really, really pleased and excited by what you've done, how you've built Port Royal into a massive manufacturing entity. But we reckon that you're just getting started. So, hey, we'll be watching this space with interest. All right. Take care and well done.
It's been a very nice interview. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the patties as well as the interview.
Take care.
Take care now.
Bye-bye.